Hey everybody, welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. My name is Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie, so I've been told, and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me. So today on Cocktails and Rocktails, we are going to talk about one of the hottest bands from the 80s. Every groupie with a red blood pulse wanted one of these guys. Well, 3 out of the 4 anyway. And you bet your ass you know I did. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to talk about Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. And this is September 30th, 1987. And in honor of that, we are going to do a shot called the Dirty Sanchez. Not because I've ever had the Dirty Sanchez done to me. You guys should know better. And I've never done it to anybody on purpose. Oops. So anyway, Dirty Sanchez is in honor of something that Tommy and Nikki did in the 80s. Some people will remember this. Some people may not know about this. But they did a contest to see who could go the longest without showering and fucking as many groupies as they could. Because I'm pretty sure Nikki Sanchez was dirty before he got to Salt Lake, but it was nice and clean by the time got here. Because if you've read the book, you know the Stephen Piercy story. I can smell that a mile away. I'm out. Done. Out. So, cheers, big ears. Kick up your feet. Grab your own Dirty Sanchez. And let's have some cocktails and rocktails, shall we? That is good. It's Bailey's, tequila, Kahlua, and chocolate stuff. Recipes down in the description. Alright, so here we go. 1987, 88-ish, I believe Danny was in St. Louis at this time. I know Kristen and I were at our respective schools and had done the rounds the night before the show. There was no band in town, no buses, nothing. Motley Crue had a show the night before. So it's early, and you know, I always got so excited. It was like Christmas morning every time there was a new band in town. Woo, the boys, the boys, the boys. So you wake up early and you just get so excited, even if you could sleep, whatever. If you weren't sleeping with them the night before, that is. This is before the bands get in town. So anyway, and if you were sleeping with the band the night before, I hope you are still excited, because sometimes, it's because they're rock stars doesn't make them sex gods. So anyway, Kristen and I go down, and she had a test, and I go down to her school, and I'm like, hey, do you have a test? Did you already take it? She's like, yeah, but I have another. I'm like, no, come on, Motley Crue, we got to get there now. So we go home, or to Kristen's, which was just a couple blocks from her school, and get changed into appropriate groupie gear. And there were so many buses on this tour that a few of the buses had to be parked on the street. So when they're parked in the parking lot of the Salt Palace, you have to have a pass just to even go to the bus. So 8 o'clock, I think it was around 8:30 in the morning that we got down there, around 8:30 or 9. The band's road crew, everybody had just gotten here. The riggers and the lighting guys were probably the only ones in the Salt Palace awake, getting things set up. Because there is a method to the madness. It is repetitive, and every rock story of mine starts the same and ends the same, because that's rock and roll, but it's what's in between that's worthwhile. So anyway, 2 buses were sitting right there on the sidewalk. You know, here's the security guard booth, which you guys have seen in one of my vlogs, and here is the buses. So Kristen and I just started banging on the bus door. Whoops. Knocked it a little bit. And no one's answering. And we're like, we know someone's on this bus. So we just keep a banging. And all of a sudden, Angry Rhodey just opens up the bus door. What do you want? Hi. We're the Salt Lake City Welcoming Committee, and we're here to welcome you to Salt Lake. Good morning, how are you? Well, that angry roadie softened right the fuck up. And this is also, ladies and gentlemen, when they started, how we invented our nicknames. One of the first nicknames we've had several. This was Salt Lake City Welcoming Committee, and this is kind of when it started because, you know, I just wanted to lighten up the mood with angry roadie that we had just woken up. Well, he wasn't so angry. So he invites us on the bus, wakes up, says, hey, ladies, how you doing? Another roadie, production manager, I don't think it was production manager, maybe tour manager, I'm not sure who it was that actually, I think I would have to ask Kristen, which I plan on doing a live session with her soon, and Danny maybe, we'll see. So anyway, he also comes on the bus, and we're sitting there, he's like, well, ladies, don't you want to meet the band? And we're like, fuck yeah, that's why we're here. Why do you think we woke a roadie up? To sit on the bus and hang out all day? Okay, yeah, we love that. That's like home. You know, we jump from bus to bus to bus and be hostesses for every bus we hit. We were just like the little Salt Lake City Welcoming Committee. So, this guy who, beard mustache, I'm going to have to ask Kristen who he was, and I'll put a follow-up on my Patreon with this. So, I know he was like tour manager or production manager, something like that. He wasn't somebody I had known before. It wasn't Jake or Ian or Rex or somebody. I don't think he was English. So anyway, he's like, no, ladies, come on. They're here. Let's go back to my hotel. We'll give them a call. We'll have a party. Yay! That's what we want. Now, you know, guys can sometimes lie. And women take chances on the word of a man. This time he did no lying. So we go from the Salt Palace to the Doubletree, which you now have seen from the back parking lot. You go in this little under ramp and to your left, and there's like, in 2 minutes you are at, less than 2 minutes, you're at the Doubletree. So we go up to the, I'm just going to call him tour manager for the vlog from here on out. So we go up to tour manager's room. He starts pulling out the party favors, the cocaine, the weed. He's got a bunch of booze. We start drinking vodka. He makes a couple phone calls. So, hey, I've got a couple ladies here. Yeah, they're hot. Come on over. Yep, you showered and ready to go. And that's why I know Nikki and Tommy were both showered before I could smell anything. So... God, the 80s, we were a different fucking crowd, a different fucking breed of people, weren't we? But so anyway, he's like, oh yeah, Nikki, Tommy, I can't remember. Okay, so anyway, sorry, I had to kind of look in the book because I honestly cannot remember if it was Vince or Mick that was in the room. I think it was Mick as well. But so we're partying and I'm looking out the hotel room of the Doubletree, which you saw the view from the street, was where I was looking. And I looked down and there's a cab. And there's Nikki and Tommy getting out of a cab. Coming up, and I turn around, I'm like, yes! Ask and you shall receive, ladies. A lot of people think I'm touting my beauty or something because I don't think I'm beautiful. I don't think I'm all that. We were just bold girls. And when you put yourself out there and you're bold about it, you will get what you want. If you're respectful, kind, fun, you have no motivations, and you are bold, even if you are shy, because the boldest women are always the most shy, because we have to be. We have to be bold. So if you're bold, you will get what you want. And we were bold, and we got what we wanted. We were never afraid to ask, because Richie had taught us to ask and you shall receive. So anyway, there's Nikki and Tommy getting out of the elevator, or getting out of the cabs. Next thing you know, knock, 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 they're at the door. Party ensues. We start pairing off. I start hooking up with, you know, I just slide onto Nikki's lap as I always do, because that's kind of how I mark my territory. Nikki and I just really kind of started flirting, and that's where the chemistry lied, was with him that day. I'm not sure with Tommy and Kristen and everybody, because I'm in my own little world, and that's kind of what we do. So there was a lot of cocaine and drugs and drinking going on, and this seriously was the last show I ever got this fucked up so early at, because you're gonna hear why. So anyway, time goes flying by, and we are just partying, like beyond day drinking. We are day drugging, day partying. Nikki and I are making out in the bathroom. We're feeling each other up as we do. Sorry, let me adjust the girls. So when we're feeling each other up, doing our thing, whatever, we realized sometime later on, because it was probably around 10 o'clock by the time we actually got to the DoubleTree. By the time we look at the clock, it's around 3 o'clock, right between 3 and 3:30. And sound check happens for every band every day between 3 and 4 o'clock, usually around 4 p.m. So that's when all the band members need to be at the gig. Well, we had been having so much fun in our little party, we've lost what time it was. So we all gather up our stuff, the tour manager, Kristen and Tommy, me and Nikki, and I can't remember if it was Vince or if it was Mick. I'm pretty sure it was Mick. Like I said, when we go live with Kristen, we'll talk about this. But so anyway, we go in the elevator. So there's all of us in the elevator. We're still continuing, just laughing, having a good time, not paying attention to the doors or the number count or anything. So we kind of realize after a while that we've been in the elevator a little longer than normal. So we all kind of quiet down, start looking. The counters aren't moving, either on the wall or up on the top of the doors. So we look, and the counter on the wall says we're on the first floor, but the counter up above the door says we're on the second floor. Okay, this is really not happening. No, this can't be happening. I've been in a million elevators, and especially in the DoubleTree at this point. I've been up and down this elevator lots. Yeah, we got stuck in this elevator, fucked up as hell, with the guys in Motley Crue. Just, none of us know what to do. We're kind of panicking. We're all realizing it. You know, tour manager guy's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. We have sound check to make. And they're like, do something, Allison, do something. I'm claustrophobic. I've got these rockers kind of bouncing off the walls. I'm squished. I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to do besides panic and maybe piss my pants. But, okay. So I pick up the phone in the elevator, and the only room number I know to call is room service. So I call room service, and she's like, hello, how can I help you? I'm like, yes, I need 4 or 5 of your biggest Jack and Cokes, please. And she's like, and what room shall I send them to? I'm like, the elevator. We all stuck somewhere between the first and second floor. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I am fucking not kidding you. There are about 5 of us in this elevator. We are stuck. It's not pretty. Please, I'm claustrophobic. Could you get us out of here? I didn't know who else to call besides room service. That's the only number I know. Because that's the only number I do know. Sorry, I know I'm always messing with my bangs. They're always in my eyes. Anyway, so that was the only number I know. So I call room service, and she's like, yeah, let me get someone there right away. I'm like, don't hang up. She's like, here, let me put you on hold. And she started playing the hold music, which is always, you know, that nice little elevator music. I was getting calmer. There's Kristen and Tommy and the tour manager trying to pry these doors open. He's looking at his watch. We've got to get to sound check. It's running late. And literally, it's like, by the time we get in the hotel van, it'll take us 20 seconds to get to the Salt Palace. So I'm trying to tell, you know, tour manager guy, just calm down, okay? I'm freaking out. Nikki's sitting next to me, petting my head, holding on to me. He's like, are you okay, babe? I'm like, I'm okay. Here, listen to the music, too, because we're kind of freaking out that we're stuck in this elevator. They're trying to pry the door open, so finally we just give up and we sit down, and we're just kind of sitting talking, and, well, we'll get out of here. Everybody gets out, but just hopefully we'll be here by sound check. That was a big thing. So about 10 or 15 minutes goes by. Still not out. Still listening to the music. Room service chick is checking in every so often. Then all of a sudden, it's like the parting of the clouds, and the sun's shining through, and God looks down on us and makes a fucking joke. So the doors open just slightly enough for us to see two, you know, elevator guys' heads, you know, technicians' heads peek through the door. And yeah, you could see the floors where we were stuck from. And, like, literally, we were just barely stuck. Like, we probably maybe only had 4 feet between us and the first floor, and that's how we were stuck. So all of a sudden, we see these guys look down and they go, "Ah, it's just Motley Crue and their groupies. We can leave them in there." Blam. What? What? Oh, Nikki, he's not going to leave us in here. I just started to have another panic attack right when I got calm. And he's like, "No, he didn't mean that." And he's like petting my head again. And I'm like just rubbing his legs, just rubbing his thigh. I'm like, "Yeah, he's not going to leave us. You're right. And Tommy's like, "We're going to die." Just laughing, and we're just coked up. So imagine us, even 20 minutes of 4 or 5 coked up people in this elevator, or 5 or 6 actually. Coked up people in this elevator. Yeah, not a good time, folks. Not a blast. Nikki was getting hard. Nothing I'm going to do about it with a bunch of people in the elevator with us. No. I may be a groupie and I may be slutty, but I have my boundaries. If I'm going to fuck someone in the elevator, it's just going to be me and him in the elevator. Yeah. So anyway, they just left us there. We just kind of freaked out for a minute. We're like, "What the hell? Are you serious? What? No." So 10 minutes later, obviously we feel the elevator start, not even 10, probably 5 minutes later. We feel the elevator just move that last little bit it needs to go. The doors open up and there was someone waiting there with our Jack and Cokes. I grabbed mine and Nikki had me by the hand because we both wanted that elevator. He got me by the hand, dragged me into the hotel van. We did our Jack and Cokes real quick, went around the corner, got there in time to sound check. Well, got there in time to see all the other groupies waiting on the sidewalk and me and Kristen get out with the 2 most coveted rock stars, Nikki and Tommy. Because yeah, don't take this wrong, guys, but it was the 80s. My next vlog after this will be groupie rivalries, so you'll understand a little bit more. And plus, I was a teenager. I was 18-ish. I was 18 years old-ish. So when you're younger, you have a different attitude and you have a different little fuck you attitude. So, when you got out of the van and the other groupies who always talk shit about you behind your back, even though we never talk shit about anybody because we weren't focusing on other groupies. We were just focusing on the moment and hanging out with the rock stars and just going with the flow. That's all we were doing. So, yeah, when you have a bunch of girls that have previously talked shit about you, and you get out of the hotel van with their desired rock star, yeah, you're gonna strut it. So Kristen and I this is, like I said, the last concert I ever drank like this out because I was spinning already. Like, literally, Nikki had me around my waist, half-ass holding me up. I had my arm around his back. And we were walking in. Well, he kind of held me up by my ass, really. He liked my butt. So, he's basically getting me into the Salt Palace. I literally went into his dressing room. And I'm like, "Excuse me, Nikki." I'm like, "I don't mean this mean." I'm like, "But for me to feel better, I've got to throw up." So I did. Went into the stall like a lady. Got my thing on. There, got my pass. He gave me a pass. Brushed my teeth like a lady. Fixed myself. Ow. Oh, I just flicked myself in the eye. Ah. Anyway, this is I talk with my hands. But, yeah, fixed myself up. Went into catering. Filled my stomach up. And felt better the rest of the night. Watched the show. Had a great time. Went back to the Marriott where Nikki was actually staying. And you're going to have to come to Patreon as usual to find this out. But, again, a little groupie rivalry in this story. There was a couple other groupies. One I told you about, Cammie from Eric Carr. She was there. This is before we became friends because if you have read the book, you know we do become friends at some point. So, and she had pulled Nikki aside. Nikki and I just decided we were going to go straight up to his room. Maybe do a bump, fuck our brains out, whatever. Well, he was going to he couldn't find his room key, so he went to the front desk, was grabbing his room key, and I see Cammie talking to him, thinking that, oh, she's probably just asking for an autograph or something. No. She was being a sinister bitch. And trying to tell Nikki that I was only 14, which I was absolutely not. I was of legal consenting age. Period. But this is what other groupies would do. They would play these games and try to get the rock star away from another groupie. And it's like, we never played this game, and this is probably why the rock stars came back to us time and again, because we weren't concerned with anybody else. Just them. Just that moment. And that moment in the elevator really fucking sucked. To this day, I hate elevators. 20 some odd years later, I'm in Salt Lake City. There's a band I know in town. I'm gonna go meet the drummer. I said, where are you staying? He said, the DoubleTree. Tried to talk him into moving to a whole different other hotel, because that's how against I am still to this day going in to that elevator. I hate elevators because of it. Yeah, so stuck in the elevator with Motley Crue when I was going down. But he was showered. Alright guys, so there you go. That's my little first Motley Crue story, because it's not the first time I hung out with Nikki Sixx. Or it was the first time. It's not the last. So yeah, that's my little stuck in the elevator with Motley Crue story. It was really scary. Never drank again. But that was also the invention of our nickname. The Salt Lake City Welcoming Committee. There were other nicknames as we go along, like the Salt Lake City Sisters. That was me and Danny. And the Usual Sisters, which was also me and Danny. And the Usual Sisters was given to us by the Grunge guys. So, alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's little stupid babble with cocktails and rocktails. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bells on your way out, and come on over to Patreon. I'll tell you all about Nikki Sixx. Because ladies, it was definitely one of these, and it was worth it. Hey, Daddy. Hi, Nikki. Anyway, alright folks, thanks for tuning in. Come over to Patreon, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bells. Have a great weekend.